What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and one weapon I never tested when I was doing all of my Barroom Blitz demos was the bouncing Fibber. This is the Fibber that bounces and then splits into multiple projectiles. We'll see if you can see the spread here. It's basically, after it ricochets once, it gets a fairly consistent shotgun-style pattern. I'm not exactly sure how many bullets are in the spread. I think it's about 8 or 9. Some people definitely already know that, but I don't. And one of the reasons I don't know too much about this gun is I think it performs very poorly when mobbing. Obviously, it can do some certain cool things, like taking out Saturn or Bunker with its bore, or with skills that act like bore, like chain reaction, for example, which we're going to be using in this case, and seeing how it performs against actual mobs. Now, the only time I did use this, I just kind of glanced over it because people told me to check it out and everything, and it performed very poorly in this Barroom Blitz. In fact, I was barely able to finish it. In fact, I don't know if I'll be able to actually complete this quest using this gun because it is very bad for mobbing. But we're going to give it a shot, and we'll see how we can do. You need to be able to bounce the bullets into the phase-locked target, which is a little bit difficult. As you can see, we didn't deal hardly any damage to that phase-lock guy at all. Managed to kill that guy, though. And it's just not a very good weapon for mobbing. Obviously, it works really well on Gaige because close enough helps guide the bullets once you've ricocheted them. They're obviously going to be kind of directed towards their destination and everything. However, with Maya, it is very, very difficult to hit your phase-lock target or any enemy with this gun. And so it's just, it could be really good if it had the close enough effect, that Gaige has. But with Maya, it's very lackluster, very, very lackluster. And I find it very difficult to hit my phase-locked enemy. And so I can try to just bounce it off other enemies, hoping chain reaction will take care of my things and the enemies I need to kill. But that wasn't working. Luckily, somehow, we've managed to catch the glitch where the timer does not start. So that's pretty cool, and it will allow us to maybe actually finish this quest, which I was thinking was going to be an impossibility. But with no timer, we'll be able to finish it. So maybe with no timer, it will also show you just how pathetic this gun actually is at mobbing with anyone other than Gaige. It's, very, very poor. I was actually able to kill my phase-locked enemy there. Maybe with a, excessive amount of practice, I could get good at bouncing it into phase-locked enemies, but I doubt it. When you do have a group of enemies, it does okay, but, Maya a lot of times wants to kill the phase-locked enemy. Phase-lock's obviously her action skill, and it's actually pretty bad at killing phase-locked enemies because they're so high off the ground that it's difficult to actually hit them with the Fibber. We're getting some kills with it here. I guess with a maximum amount of practice you could make it viable. However, I do not consider it a viable mobbing weapon on Maya. What really makes it excel with Gaige is the close enough effect. That really changes things. Keep trying to hit these guys here. It doesn't do terrible against non-phase-locked enemies, but like I said, it's very difficult to hit your phase-locked enemy. And that makes it pretty lackluster in my opinion, because obviously phase-locking an enemy is something you want to do and be able to kill. So I was able to kill that guy, but he was almost out of my field of view. And I use a very modified field of view to begin with. So my field of view is actually set to 120, I just checked it there. Maybe if we made the field of view even larger, it would be a little bit easier to use. I'll go ahead and try that real quick. Now we have maximum fisheye mode. Maybe that would make it a little bit easier to actually see where this weapon is aiming. We'll go ahead and try to take out the rest of the enemies in super fisheye mode like this. But yeah, so I did want to show you guys the Fibber. I know I had said that I was going to be done with most of these Barroom Blitz demos, but I did want to go ahead and test out this one because a lot of people had asked for it, and I just never got around to it for whatever reason. I guess just because I didn't think it was worth showcasing, but, it can do okay. I just don't really like it. I'm getting a little bit better at actually hitting the phase-locked enemy now that I have this wide field of view, but obviously I was already playing at a field of view that isn't naturally in the game at 120. The highest the field of view slider goes is 110, and I always play at 120 just because I prefer it a little bit more. But, you know, it's just, it does have some good synergy with chain reaction, because I do think it resplits into those pellets again after the chain reaction occurs on its way to the next enemy. And so when you have a bunch of enemies there, it can really do some good things. However, it's so impractical to aim at, you know, a normal FOV at a phase-locked enemy that I don't know if it's really worth it for that. That's just my theory, though. You can definitely use the Fibber if you'd like. The Fibber has 3 different barrels, though, and one of them is a critical hit modifier. And I can show you them, actually. And then another one is like a shotgun. This will be the one that's like a shotgun, and I'll find the one that's kind of like a gun that shoots a very slow-moving pellet, but has a very high critical hit. Before they upgraded the Lady Fist, this was actually the highest critical hit weapon in the game. It shoots this bouncing bullet that moves slowly and in an arc, and is very hard to hit criticals with, which, you know, it had a risk-reward type factor using it before, but now they released the Lady Fist, and so this gun's just completely obsolete. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that one. The other one is this one here, and it shoots basically like a slow-moving shotgun, just a shotgun pistol kind of thing. It's pretty weak, though. I don't know if anyone really uses this. It's okay. It's a decent little shotgun pistol, but it's not that great. This is the only one that people really use, which is the ricochet one, and it's mainly used on Gaige because of the close enough effect. Obviously, with enough practice, I think I could get kind of decent at aiming it. However, I do think the extra wide field of view would be required for using it. So, I don't know. It's not a weapon I would recommend, but, you know, I think I gave you a demonstration of how it works if you're really bad at aiming it, like I was there. Maybe I'll try to get better at it, probably not. I don't really like this weapon. I find it far inferior to other weapons, such as the Butcher. For example, I think it's easier to aim with, and it will kill quicker, even though it doesn't have the same possible top-level synergy with the chain reaction skill that I'm making good use of here with my blurred Trickster build, as, you know, the Fibber did, but I still think it was a superior weapon to use. And obviously I think the Pimpernel is far superior to the Fibber, even in terms of reacting with chain reaction. So, use this weapon. It's the one I like the best, if you really want to get top-level chain reaction synergy. This weapon can work, though, for taking out Saturn and Bunker, like I had mentioned, and probably the other spider tanks that you can get a phase-locked enemy for in Digistruct Peak and stuff. So there you go. I know people had been asking for it for a while, and there's the little demo on the Fibber. It can work really well, but I find it very impractical to use, I guess would be the final verdict on this gun. As always, guys, I thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in playing this save file, I will leave it linked in the description of this video. If you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments. If you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. Otherwise, I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.